Hello, everyone. It's Joy again with another Codes to Confidence interview. I'm really loving these, and I'm so excited about today. In fact, this has been on my mind and in my heart ever since I thought about interviewing people. We are today with Michelle Bongiorno. Michelle, that Italian last name is hard for me, but I'm getting more confident speaking it.
Yeah, just go to Italy for a day or two and you'll have it down, listening every morning.
No. Grazie. Okay, well, I know and love you because I've worked with you. And I just really want to start by saying when Michelle talks about giving her clients or supporting her clients in bold breakthroughs, she really means it. She is a seasoned trauma specialist, and she's been called by her clients as a change maker to the nth degree, which I can't wait to ask you what that really means. You are a master, Michelle, at integrating all the skills and body of work that you've studied and really bringing them to life as you weave that into your private sessions, your online groups, and your live seminars. I've seen you in action, and you have a knack for pulling everything together. And I know you have a background. You are, an academic foundation includes applied behavioral science and a master's level education in human service program development, grounded in the principles of prenatal and birth psychology, energy psychology, and advanced training in the most current methods of trauma resolution. So I just want to talk to you. We have so much to learn from you about everything in life, and especially specifically today, I really do want to talk about confidence. And with your varied background, and you've worked internationally, just to start, my first question is, how would you define confidence?
For me, my confidence is just my trust in knowing that I can meet the moment. And there might be moments where I have more confidence and other moments where I have less confidence. So it's not like confidence is just there in all its fullness at the same. There's a spectrum, and but my confidence is my ability and my trust that I can meet the moment, whatever that is.
You also mentioned that you feel that a foundation in confidence, we have this in common, a foundation is trusting life is for you. So how did you, because that's not how you were raised. You were raised, there were 9 other children, you lived in a rural town, a daughter of an immigrant. How did you break through yourself to really feel like you trusted life and it was benevolent and working towards you, with you?
You know, because I was born in a really small town in Wisconsin, 800 people, that was really the foundation, I realized, for my confidence, because it was a safe place. I could go anywhere in the town, roam all over a day. It was back in a day when that was possible. I think it still is in that small town because I've been back there. But to be able to live growing up feeling safe, feeling protected, knowing that everybody knew me and would take care of me as a child, I think helped to set the foundation for confidence. There were other experiences too. My father loved exposing his kids to the world, and he was from the city, but he'd also, as the son of an immigrant family, new immigrants to the country often feel uncertain in their new world. And as the son of an immigrant from Italy, he exposed us to the world, but he also had a lot of fears and let us know the dangers for everything he was exposing us to. But having that foundation and the fear wobbly father message combined to create me that had confidence and areas with big absent places where confidence just didn't live.
So
I think it's true for all of us.
That's what I was just going to say. This is what really brings me to what I think all the listeners are asking. It's like, okay, so how, and you're a specialist in this, how do we overcome these patterns and programs that we got from our parents or our grandparents or society, or somewhere along the way we were taught we're not good enough at something, or we're not safe, or we have to work hard to make money, or you have nothing good to say. And so we all have all these programs, and I know this is what you specialize in. I mean, how do people shift into new beliefs.
You know, those earlier experiences are not metaphorically, but really paramount in shaping who we are. And the messages that we get, that I got, that it's a benevolent universe or that it's a dangerous universe, be that the universe of the family or the community or the world, those literally are set in place within us. And there's an internal, I always think of it as a structure that's wobbly in some places and strong in some places. And if we know that those experiences of life shaped us, then we may need to go back and look, not at the history, because not 1 second of that can ever be changed, but we need to look at how am I today holding those earlier experiences within in ways that have me living not in the present. I'm back at my dad's fear of this or that, or my own experience of this was not a safe, supportive experience. And we make meaning during those times. And the meanings are, I can or I can't. The world is good or it's bad. You're good or you're bad. And those are all there as we just step into our present moment. And so there's a necessity to be aware of that, but also to be really cognizant of the fact that it can change. That's not locked in stone within us. And that our confidence can grow.
Yeah, so that change, that moment of saying, I notice it and I want to change.
Yeah, yeah. Want and sometimes even need to change. You know, I really want to achieve this, but I can't because there's something pulling me in the other direction. And we can put it under the heading of lack of confidence, but because confidence, I believe, is that trust inherent in it, whether it's its dictionary definition or my own definition, there's a trust there. There's going to be an underlying fear wherever there's an absence or weakness in our confidence. And to be able to go and to undo that, literally undo it, allows that confidence to grow. Not only grow, but grow in more and more areas of our life where it's not showing its face.
So I know some of that undoing, you teach that in your workshops and coaching, and you teach it by doing it. That's what I love about you too. You don't teach it, you do it with people. You facilitate the undoing. Is there an undoing technique that people can individually practice? Let's say they recognize a fear holding them back from a future that they know they want, but there's that pull, you said. What's an undoing technique that people can do for themselves?
You know, I think probably the simplest is one naming. Oh, I'm afraid. And because fear by definition is like a hot stove, we pull away from it. But fear is the only thing that gets smaller as we move closer to it. And just naming it and stepping towards it by simply owning, I'm feeling scared, it can begin to diminish. And an additional part of that is if we can say, oh, this is little Michelle that's scared. If we can differentiate, there's a scared part of me right in there next to a confident, strong, or steady part of me. That in alone can start stabilizing us. Fears can be deeply, deeply entrenched and held. They can come from fears of Santa Claus, sitting in Santa Claus's lap when we were little, or a big life-changing trauma. They can come from many different experiences. But I think when we can just own and name, feel confident to name, I feel scared, then we already begin to separate from it and find footing where it has less of a hold on us in the moment. It sounds simple, but it may not totally eradicate, but it puts us on firmer ground. And I think if we can always start there, any other techniques can stand on that.
I'm with you. And thank you for explaining it so clearly. It's that separation, that observer that can see the little frightened part and be present. Well, you are a master. I've just seen you in action. You just said something that made me think of a totally tangent question, firmer ground. And I know you love to garden. I know you've always lived close to the earth. And so I wonder, how important is a connection with nature to building confidence?
I think a connection to nature and the land can enhance it. I think that people who are drawn there actually know it's giving them something. And when we have traumatizing experiences or fearful experiences, we lose different qualities, and one of them can be our groundedness. So while I love just plants and growing and the produce that I can eat and all of that, I also know that just being outside and on the ground or leaning into a tree or whatever, that's giving me something that actually solidifies my stance on the earth. And when we feel solid and grounded, that's an essential part to feeling confidence. We can't be dissociated and feel the utmost of our confidence. It's just feigned at that point. It's just a partial experience of what's potentially there for us. So yeah, the land for many people can be really grounding, and it is for me. I love it.
Wow. You have given us a lot. I mean, I'm just like unlayering the takeaways of just connecting with you and then also experiencing your presence. And that's my last question. I've seen you speak in front of hundreds of people, and I've seen you in groups of 12, and you always bring such a clear presence and a heartfelt presence. Was that something you consciously worked at, or did that come natural to you? And the reason I ask is so many of the people that are viewers and clients of mine and part of Codes to Confidence course, they're working on feeling more naturally themselves in public, on video, or on the stage. What would you offer to support those kinds of people?
You know, from speaking from my own experience, I didn't consciously say I'm building my confidence. Maybe now as an adult I'd say that. But I knew that I was not comfortable in situations. And that discomfort became a motivation for me to learn, what's that about? What's that about as I want to step out into the world, you know, be it as a child or a teenager experiencing new things or as an adult. But I also feel that pulling back. And that pull can be so uncomfortable that motivated me to learn and actually become expert in the field of fear. And what is fear, and how is that held inside, and what's the price that I pay, you know, by continuing to hold fear? And once I learned that change can happen, and far easier than I ever dreamed possible, I gave conscious attention to it. I still give attention to it. And while you see me in our naming times when you see me grounded and present, guaranteed I have moments when I'm not. And last week I just had a big one come up. It was a huge terror even. The situation that sparked it was nothing. But what got touched, I know at this point, get help. Get help, because I can be on the other side of that really. It can be changed. It can be gone. And I reached out and I got the help. And that's what I would say to anyone else, is that there's a lot you can do yourself. Sometimes just by stepping out into uncomfortable situations that are taking you beyond your comfort zone. Not too far, but far enough to increase the size of your comfort zone. But also, some of the fears that we hold are very old, very embedded, very tenacious, and we need help for them. That's what was missing initially when they first came, was the absence of support and relationship. So to be able to get help has been what I've done. And there's no way I would even have the moments that I do have when I can be steady or present if I hadn't done that. And so I think the confidence that I can be empowered to help myself side by side with, I can also be confident in being vulnerable. To reach out and get help, both of those together give me the confidence that I can change and that I'm just going to continue to change, and that my confidence will grow, and that there'll be moments when I've got it and moments when I don't. Or in this situation, I'll have it big time. In this situation, I still need support. So you're doing such great work, Joy, in helping people to see that confidence is really comfort. Confidence is being able to live within oneself in a really comfortable state, trusting that there's a knowingness that's going to allow the meeting of the moment and make it fun, make it endurable, make it enjoyable even.
Wow. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being in my life and sharing your beauty with everyone. And if people want to learn more about you and your amazing workshops or your private coaching work, how do they reach out?
The best way to reach me is Michelle B, 2 L's, at iname.com. Not my name, iname.com, INAME. And that's the fastest, surest way that I'll see you.
Great. And I'll put that down below here for people who are wanting to find that link. It's right below here. Michelle, thank you, thank you, thank you for being in my life. And thank for you, all of you, go ahead.
I just said thank you for all you're doing. It's amazing, and I can't wait to read your book that's coming out.
I am having a ball. I can't wait to read it too, because it just came through me, right? It's brought me to my knees, but more on that later. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. All right, so codes to confidence, and my final message to you is yes, live a soul-inspired life. All right, we'll see you guys next